At a seemingly ordinary girls' college in Ileju, Ipaja, dark and unexplainable things happen. Teenage girls die under mysterious circumstances. Others disappear without a trace. There were rumors of a secret cult where selected students are initiated into fetish and inhuman rituals. Some call it misfortune. Others whisper that the school is cursed. But only a few know the truth. The school was never meant to be built there. In 1991, Mallam Alade, a wealthy contractor, had just received a life-changing government contract. With new money burning in his pocket, he dreamt of Legacy, a prestigious all-girls college. But securing a land proved difficult. After months of failure, he visited the State Council for Land and Housing, where he stumbled upon a community master plan. It revealed a stretch of unused land where a new road was to be developed, an area bordering a deep ancient river called Odo Okaje. Local elders had long avoided the place. They said the river belonged to the marine world, a spiritual domain ruled by water spirits, with history of vengeance and blood. Alade, driven by ambition and greed, ignored all warnings. He purchased the land. Construction began, but the river refused to be silenced. Strange incidents plagued the site. Workers drowned mysteriously. Tools vanished. Sounds of wailing came from underground. Determined to build the school, he went to a powerful Babalawo, a traditional priest, who did some rituals to drive the river spirits away, but to keep the marine spirits calm. They made a deal, a secret agreement to offer sacrifices every year. No one was to speak of it, but it had to be done. And so the school stood on cursed land above buried waters, with a secret agreement beneath its foundations. Decades have passed, but the school legacy of tragedy persists. Every year, students disappear, others die in their sleep. Some return from court initiation ceremonies, speaking in tongues or behaving like strangers. The current principal, respected on the surface, is merely a gatekeeper, maintaining the sacrifices in secret, selecting girls through a masked inner circle, making sure the blood debt is paid every year. The school looks successful and well respected, but behind the clean hallways and good reputation, something dark is hiding. The river is no longer sleeping. The sacrifices no longer satisfy. The school debt is due, and the water beneath the school, it has started to rise. Amara stood in front of the big school gate, holding her suitcase tightly. The sign above her read, Ileju Ipaja Girls College, Knowledge and Virtue. The gate was tall, dark and quiet. Even though it was morning, the school felt strange, too still, too quiet. A security woman sat nearby, watching her closely. "Who you dey find?" the woman asked. "I am Amara Okonkwo. I am the new student," Amara replied. The woman squinted at her. "Wait here." The woman entered a small room beside the gate. Amara looked around. The school was surrounded by high fences and tall trees. In the corner of the compound, she saw something odd. A small dirty pond covered in green algae. It looked out of place. Just then, the gate creaked open. "You can go in," the woman said. "Principal office is straight. Don't walk around too much." Amara nodded and walked inside. The office was dark and smelled odd. Framed pictures hung on the wall. Most of the faces were serious, like they were hiding secrets. Behind the desk sat Mrs. Durojaye, the principal. She wore a long black dress and gold-rimmed glasses. She didn't smile. "So, you are the girl from Enugu?" she asked. "Yes, ma." "We don't normally accept new students in the middle of the term, but your father tried hard," Amara responded. "I promised to behave well, ma." The principal just looked at her and said, "I hope so." She pressed a small bell. A tall woman with a nurse uniform came in. "This is Nurse Grace," the principal said. "She will take you to Red Dormitory. Welcome to Ileji Baja Girls College." Amara stood up. As she turned to follow Nurse Grace, she noticed a large wooden crucifix hanging on the wall. It moved slightly, yet there was no breeze in the room. The dormitory was long, with rows of bunk beds on both sides. It smelled of soap, sweat, and something Amara couldn't name. Something sharp and bitter. Several girls looked up as she entered. Some just stared. One whispered to her bunkmate. Nurse Grace pointed to a bed in the corner. "Bunk 17. That's yours. No noise after lights out. You understand?" Amara responded, "Yes, ma." As soon as Nurse Grace left, a tall, confident girl walked up to Amara. She wore her uniform neatly, with a gold badge pinned to her chest. "I am Sarah, the senior prefect," she said. "You are from the East?" "Yes." Sarah looked her up and down. "They always bring the stubborn ones here. Don't be too smart. And if you hear anything strange at night, stay in your bed." Amara frowned. "What do you mean by strange?" Sarah smiled, but it wasn't a kind smile. "You will see." The dorm was dark. Only the moonlight through the windows lit the room. Amara turned in her bed, unable to sleep. She kept thinking about Sarah's warning. Then she heard it. Soft singing, far away, like someone humming underwater. She sat up slowly. A few bunks away, 5 girls in white nightgowns were walking silently to the back of the dorm. One held a candle, another held something round like a small pot. Amara watched, confused. Nobody else moved. Even Sarah was fast asleep. She got out of the bed quietly and tiptoed after them. The girls walked to the back wall, behind a dusty shelf. One of them knocked on the door. 3 slow knocks. A small wooden panel slid open. They went inside one by one. Then the panel closed. Amara stared in shock. She reached out and touched the wall. It felt warm, like it was alive. Suddenly she heard a whisper behind her ear. "Go back to bed." She turned around fast. No one was there. Amara ran back to her bed, her heart beating fast. She pulled the blanket over her head, eyes wide open in the dark. Who whispered to me? How did they disappear? She didn't sleep the rest of the night. The bell rang at 5:30 a.m. Girls rushed to the bathroom, some with buckets, others with towels around their necks. Amara moved slowly, still thinking about what she saw. When she returned from her shower, Sarah was sitting on her bed looking at her. "You didn't sleep well," Sarah said. I couldn't." Sarah tilted her head. "Did you hear anything?" Amara paused. "No, just noises." Sarah leaned closer. "Remember what I told you. If you hear something at night, don't follow it. People who ask too many questions in this school, they don't stay long." The classroom was bright but cold. The teacher, Mr. Joe, was already writing on the board when the students came in. "Sit quiet," he said. "We are starting with literature today." Amara sat beside a quiet girl with glasses. She wore her uniform neatly and clutched her books like they were shields. "I am Tommy," she whispered. Amara responded, "My name is Amara." "You are the new girl everyone is talking about." Amara asked her why. Tommy responded, "Because of your bunk. You are sleeping in bunk 17. Amara frowned. "What's wrong with it?" Tommy looked around, lowered her voice. "The girl who used to sleep there, Blessing, she disappeared last term." In shock, Amara responded, "Disappeared?" Tommy nodded slowly. "One night, she left her bed. People say she went to the back wall. Just like..." She stopped talking. Mr. Joe was watching. Amara's hands turned cold. She quickly looked down at her notes, but couldn't focus. Back wall? The same place I saw those girls last night. The dining hall was loud, full of noise, and the smell of beans and yam porridge. Amara picked up her tray and sat beside Tommy again. Sarah walked past their table, her eyes locked with Amara for a moment, sharp and cold. Tommy whispered, "Be careful of Sarah. She's not just a prefect. People say she's part of something." Amara blinked. Part of what? Tommy didn't answer. She just kept eating. Faster now, like she wanted to change the topic. Suddenly, a girl at the other table began to scream. Her eyes rolled back. She kicked over her chair and fell to the ground, shaking. A spoon flew from her hand. Everyone stood. Teachers ran in. "Make space, move!" Someone shouted. Nurse Grace pushed through the crowd and knelt beside the girl. She whispered something into her ear, and slowly the girl stopped shaking. Her eyes blinked open. "She will be fine. She will be fine," Nurse Grace said calmly. It's just stress. It's just stress." But Amara knew it wasn't just stress. As the girl was lifted and carried away, Amara noticed something. The girl's wrist had a small cut, shaped like a fish tail. The girl needed a medical attention because it was said she broke her ankle. Amara couldn't sleep again. She sat in her bed, her back against the wall, eyes fixed on the corner shelf where the secret door had opened the night before. She waited and waited. Nothing. Then, footsteps, but this time it wasn't 5 girls. It was one. A small figure in white moved towards the back wall, slowly, silently. Amara stood up. "Hello," she whispered. The girl turned around. It was the same girl from lunch, the one who had the feet. Her eyes were wide, blank, like she was sleepwalking. She didn't say a word. She reached the wall and began to knock. The panel opened again, but before the girl could step in, she suddenly turned her head to look at Amara and smiled. Her eyes were completely black. The panel closed behind her.